I need my coffee in the morning. And on a special occasion, that coffee needs to be Irish. But check this out. I figured out a way to put that Irish coffee in the oven. Let's get baking. So today what I want to show you is how to make Irish coffee muffins that are vegan and gluten-free. So we're going to start with our flax egg first. The flax egg is just about a tablespoon of flax. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of water. And the important thing here is we're going to give it a stir and then we're going to let it set a little bit while we're getting our other ingredients together to get it that nice gooey gel-like consistency that's going to help bind our muffin. So let's just set that aside. And our main ingredient goes into the mixer first. So we've got 2 cups of gluten-free flour blend here. Just get that right into the mixer. Then our next important ingredient to an Irish coffee is coffee. Get your favorite beans, whatever you want, dark, mild, medium roast, however you like them, but just make sure it's ground as fine as possible. Almost like a powder. You'll still have some chunks in there, which is fine. And that is about 2 tablespoons worth. Let's put that right in there with our flour. All right, our next dry ingredients are our secret weapons. We have psyllium husk and we have xanthan gum. So that's 2 teaspoons of each. Psyllium husk and our xanthan. Let's put that right in there. All right, let's get our other ingredients in there. So we have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then we have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We have half a teaspoon of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we're gonna add all that in with everything else here. And that's it for our dry ingredients. So right now, let's just get those whisked up. Now we need some sweetness to this, so we're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. All right, so we've added the sugar. Let's give that a quick whisk. All right, that's all that needs. And I'm taking the whisk off because we're gonna actually use the paddle mixer for when our wet ingredients are combined. Let's just have that on standby. So in a separate bowl, we're going to add in all of our other wet ingredients. So let's start with a half a cup of our plant milk, any plant milk of your choice. Okay, next we're gonna add oil. I like to use olive oil. I use olive oil for most of my bakes. So 1/4 cup. And then of course, the star of the show, I'm choosing Maker's Mark. It's one of my personal faves. And that's about a half of cup. But use whatever whiskey you like. Bourbon should be fine too, but I would say whiskey. It's an Irish coffee, so. Okay, and then our flax is just about ready. It's sticking to the bottom. You can see it gets a little gel-like. So let's just add that. All right. And then we just need a little extract of vanilla, and that's gonna be about a teaspoon. Let's just give that a little stir. All right, so we're ready to add that to our dry ingredients. I'm gonna start off low, and then we're just gonna add that in slowly as it's mixing. Now the thing with this batter is it's not gonna be a very wet batter. It's actually gonna come out very dough-like, which is good for our purposes because we're gonna wanna shape this a little bit when it's in our tin. Just turn it up a little bit. I can smell the coffee and the whiskey blending together. It's so good. And I can turn it up a little bit more just for those last few seconds. Amazing. Oh, it smells so good. Smells like an Irish coffee. Look at that, just falling right off very slowly. That's what we want. You don't want it too runny. You want to be able to spoon it into the tray. All right, so let's get this into the muffin pan. Okay, so we're ready to fill our cupcake lined muffin tin. I love doing these because it's just easy cleanup and it actually helps bake more evenly your muffins. So let's get this out. I'm gonna get a spoon and just eyeball it. We obviously don't want to fill it too much. I actually might get another spoon to help me spoon it out here because it's really thick. So I'd say, what is that? Maybe about a half a cup, a little less than half a cup. And just let it fall in there. Let it shape itself before you start manipulating because we are going to have to put a little dent in there. Yeah, this is very thick stuff. So I made 6 muffins, but the batter will yield about 7 to 8 muffins depending on how much you fill them. See how it just falls into place? It's pretty heavy. Oh my gosh, the smell of coffee. I wish you could smell this. A little bit of the sugar I can smell coming out too. Need a little more in there. Let's get this last one in. Yeah, you definitely need 2 spoons for this because it's a little awkward how thick it is. Oop. Can get a little messy too. That's all right. I'm not afraid to get messy. All right, so give it a little bang down, help its way down with gravity. So what we want to do is just make a little space on the top. Push that down. And if you can create a little divot, go ahead. It's a little difficult with the texture of these muffins, but you can kind of move them to the side. I don't know if you can see that, but see how I'm kind of lifting it up? It should keep most of that form. We just want a little bit of guidance when we're adding the topping. It doesn't have to be super deep. There we go. Takes a little working. You might have to wait for it to set up a little bit because it is very soft since we just mixed it. All right, so we're gonna cook these at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, our muffins are in the oven, so let's get our topping started. A traditional Irish coffee always has some whipped cream on top. So we're gonna make a cream cheese topping. There are so many brands of vegan cream cheese out there today, which is great. I still stand by Tofutti. I used to be a big Philadelphia cream cheese fan. To me, this brand is like the best match to that. Usually these containers are exactly 8 ounces, which is what you need for this recipe. So let's go ahead and put that in our mixer. So we're gonna start with that. And feel free to use your favorite brand of cream cheese. This is just my personal preference. See, I just think it's so thick. And it doesn't have that fermented taste that a lot of them do, which again is great for a bagel, but I feel like for this recipe, you want to get as traditional to cream cheese as you can. And you know me, I'm gonna get it all in there with this rubber spatula. Okay. So once our cream cheese is in, we're going to add 1/4 cup of sugar right into the bowl. And let's see, it added just 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. You can use the plastic jarred ones. I don't even know what they come in anymore, but I like to just squeeze a lemon. So that's just 1 teaspoon. Oh, and I did almost perfect. It's a little bit over, no big deal. And then we're gonna do a teaspoon of vanilla. Your favorite vanilla extract, whatever that may be. And that's it. make sure we get all this stuff from the side in there. Smell that vanilla, it smells so good. And you want to really whip it, probably on a medium, almost high speed. Because it's granulated sugar, it's not powdered sugar, so it's going to take a little longer to blend. Take a little pause here and just get the stuff that's riding up the sides. It's looking like whipped cream too, which is just what we want for our muffins. Blend that up some more. Hey guys, I just want to take a moment real quick to ask for your support. If you like my recipes, please subscribe to my channel. And when you do, make sure to select that bell that's marked all. That will ensure that you get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks. Now let's get back to baking. Amazing. All right. And since we want these to look cute on our muffins, almost like it's whipped cream, I'm gonna put it in a pastry bag. I'm using this little kind of flower tip. I'm not sure of the technical name of it. But let's cut our pastry bag. Just enough to fit the tip. All right, roll that down. Like you're about to have an ice cream cone. Yeah, look at that. So let's scoop that in. Feel nice and smooth and fluffy. It almost looks like mayonnaise. It's kind of weird. But a good way to know it's ready if it looks like mayonnaise. This is going to be really good. Okay. Get it all down there. What I would recommend even if your muffin's are ready, you're gonna want them to cool. So I would place this in the fridge and let this firm up just a little bit so that it doesn't just spill all over your muffin and you're able to make a nice cute design with it. All right, and that's it. So let's get that in the fridge. All right, these are smelling good and they're smelling ready. So let's get them onto the cooling rack. We've got our little divot in here, you can see. Doesn't have to be major, just a little indicator of where we want to put most of the topping. So get these on the cooling rack. They smell amazing. Coffee, whiskey, so good. And you can smell the sweetness too. They're gonna need probably about 10 minutes and then we'll be ready to put our cream cheese topping on it. Okay, so these are cool enough. So we are ready to add our cream cheese frosting. And remember, we put that in the piping bag. So we're gonna start with just right around the edge where that divot is, because we're gonna do a little swirl in. Because we want that little whipped cream kind of effect. And then we're gonna bring it into the center and bring it up like that. We'll continue with these. And this is just my preference. I like it to look like it's whipped cream on top of the muffin, but you could go all the way around the muffin. You don't even have to use a pastry bag. You could just spread it on if you'd like. But I just think this gives it a little cute appearance. It's just that extra little pop that's gonna bring together the flavors of the whiskey and the coffee. So let's give it a try. Let's open it up. It's soft, brown just enough around the edges. Okay, let's break it open and see what it looks like. Ooh, yeah, look at that. So you can see the texture is really good. It's moist. You can see the coffee grounds in there. I can smell them. Right. Let's take a bite. It's a really good texture. It's very soft. Just the right amount of that whiskey and coffee. And that cream cheese on top brings it all together.